Hi all, John Griffith here to talk a little bit about the poor air quality in Denver that's experienced by some racial and socioeconomic groups more than others. I want to talk a little bit about the data set that's included in this puzzle piece. You can learn a little bit more about the different types of data that are available, some questions that you could consider analyzing by playing with the data, and some different strategies to interact with the data set in this data analytics tool here that shows up on the window. This tool is called CODAP. This is an interactive tool that allows you to drag and drop data from the data table directly onto the graph that's displayed, or you could add additional graphs using this icon here in the top left corner. You can manipulate the data directly in this window. I find it easier to enter a full screen to play around with the data sets. In this full screen, again, I can click and drag these graphs, expand the windows. I could look at the different variables and these descriptions below. The data sets that are included, these are NO2 particulate matter variables related to poor air quality or air quality, and the different percentage of ethnic groups in these different census tracts by percent. Households with public assistance, this is an indicator of socioeconomic status. So these different variables you can drag and drop directly onto these graphs. I'm going to make a different graph just to add to the mix here, and show you a few of the tips and tricks that I've learned by playing around with this CODAP tool. Again, I'm not a developer of this tool. I've developed the puzzle pieces, but I'm playing along and exploring this tool and these data just like you are. So I'm interested in learning a little bit more about, let's say, how particulate matter in these census tracts, what it looks like. So largely in the 6.5 to 8 range here, looking at particulate matter by the percentage of Hispanic or Latino people in a census tract. So if I'm looking at this, I can see higher up the census tracts that have a greater percentage of Hispanic or Latino people tend to have higher concentrations of particulate matter. So the likelihood of, if you're in a census tract in Denver and you have a high percentage of Hispanic or Latino people, there's a higher chance that you're going to have poor air quality in terms of particulate matter than if you're in a census tract that has fewer Hispanic or Latino people. And we can play around with this and pull the non-Hispanic white data set and look at how that relates to particulate matter. You can see that the trends more or less shift. The higher the percentage of non-Hispanic white people in a census tract, the better the chance it is going to be that you have low particulate matter, better air quality. Now you can see there are plenty of census tracts in Denver where there's a high percentage of non-Hispanic white people and high concentrations of particulate matter. So it doesn't necessarily mean if you're in a census tract with a lot of non-Hispanic white people, you're guaranteed to have good air quality, but there's a better chance you will have good air quality. So again, we can drag and drop these different variables. We'll look at the socioeconomic indicator. We can mess with the scales, pull up and down to expand and focus on different things, make these graphs bigger. I can drag and drop these variables. I can have a secondary y-axis, so I can look at particulate matter and NO2 concentrations by different groups of people or socioeconomic status. So lots of different ways to play with, explore these data to see what air quality looks like in these different census tracts by race and by socioeconomic group.